Jumbo, Otep, Peace, Salamo. This is for Ferrity Radio. My name is Sayshara. This is your Sunday interactive talk show, as you know, between the hours and 3 till 6 p.m. I want to big up Sister Ebony for a couple of hours. As you know, she's mixing and blending and trending with the musical vibes and the information. So I'm here, and I want to say, rather willing that you're in good health, you're in good spirits, and life is definitely treating you well. I know there's so much things going on that really we have to take a pause, take a breath, and think about what we're saying and what we're doing around there, yeah? But before I say anything else, I want to say that recently, well, sad news you could say, generally speaking. I think it's sad news for a lot of people out there. I want to say condolences and hearts and minds goes out to our beloved sister Yvonne Pennant Taylor, who recently this week passed away, and to her family. I want to show them some regards around the loss of their loved one. And definitely, I want to say big up to my daughter, Samara, who's really grandma was the one that actually passed away for her. And obviously, we're all connected in terms of some of our people that's lost their lives recently. And you know, hearts and mind goes out to many, many people out there that's lost their lives, lost their loved ones, people, family members, community members, and all those out there. And I think that we have to really, really look at ourselves deeply. And obviously that's going to take time and a lot of effort and energy in how we want to really have these kind of conversations about some of the things that's going on out there. So it's up to you, generally speaking, how we have these conversations. And I think like we're just going to go through the motions, generally speaking, aren't we? Just going to go through the motions. And I don't agree with a lot of things going on out there. There's so much things to talk about that it's going to take a long time to sort of go through those motions, yeah? And really, I think that if I was to be honest and truthful about what's going on out there, and for those people who want to get caught up with the romance and the whole trance, like mind control type situation that everyone, well, I say everyone, not everyone's caught up in it, do you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that we really need to really look at ourselves, and it's going to take time. And I feel that, yeah, you know, we should really feel it for our people out there, you know. And when we're talking about things, let's say we're going to talk about things from our own perspective, from a Black African perspective, and how we're going to be able to actually do something that's going to be able to move us going forward in different ways. And it's so much things to even want to comprehend, because we're going from one event to another event. And you know, we have to think about what is actually happening and what's taking place. I think that before the whole quarantine, isolation, shutdown, lockdown, emergency law situation, what was going on there? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like we're moving from one paradigm to another paradigm at a drop of a hat, or just switching our emotions on and off. Okay, and we may look at this and think all this stuff is kind of organic, and there's actually things going on that's just natural in its essence, yeah. But from where I'm looking at things, to be quite truthful, I think that we're being so manipulated. We're so, I don't know, but we have to separate ourselves because that's the way the system's set up. It's you know what I'm saying? The whole thing is to distract us and to get us to not focus on ourselves. Because before, again, I was saying that we were becoming more insular and we was looking at ourselves, and like everybody in their countries, in their regions, in their nation, wherever they are, was looking at themselves, and they started to get into a lot of different things now. You know what I'm saying? That most people wouldn't normally get into. Do you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the only thing they can do, what can they do, is watch TV all day, or go on social media, right? Or what can you do? Do a lot of Zoom meetings and all of this stuff. Okay, so it's all about the technology. So basically, they get us hardwired, so now they can control us using the technology, because they're going to collect that information and data, making observations, psychological observations, okay, and all that information is going to be gathered up, collated, and it's going to be stored as data to be able to use that information again. All right, so a lot of things are planned out, but we just can't see how they plan these things out. It's systematic, but it is planned out. I think that a lot of things we think that these things are coincidental, and that we just get caught up into those types of traps. And I think that the whole system is giving us illusion after illusions after illusions, because it distracts you from the things that let's say there's an energy or a resonance that's focusing on the government or what's going on beyond the governments, big investors, these corporate elites, the bankers, the people that's controlling the monetary system, when we're looking at governments, and there was this kind of shift around just focusing on governments, okay, in a lot of countries in Europe, in the continent of Africa, in Asia, in America, in Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand. Is happening, right? See what I'm saying? And unfortunately, right, they have to find a way to put us in the picture so that everybody, the whole planet Earth, can just resonate on that actual distraction that's going to be captivating us, okay? So I know it's kind of strange, okay, to me, that something happens in America that happens all the time, right? And we here in the UQ, United Kingdom, Great Britain, and Northern Ireland, the British Isles, okay, England, we're over here in London, and we see what's going on here in this country. They're carrying on their COVID-19 agenda, okay? And you don't know what's actually going on, do you? What's going on there? Because now you're just focusing on that other stuff now, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? And maybe that's alright, there's nothing wrong with that. You focus on whatever you want to focus on, do you know what I'm saying? But I think that you know, there's been things that's been put in plan. There's plans being put in place, okay, and maybe they got an A, B plan, a C, D plan. You know, there's a backup plan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because all that's happening is that billionaires, you know, the people that's got money, they can move things. They can move different things all around the place, okay, at any point in time, right? This is like the billionaires, you know, environment we're looking at here. That's what's happening, yeah? Because how can we be in a lockdown, shutdown kind of situation, okay? And that's been neutralized. It's, you know, based on one incident, right? So that's how it seems like this is like some powerful thing that's going on here, isn't it? Yeah? That's how people thinking now. I know everyone's feeling what's going on out there, and they're all resonating around, you know, Black Lives Matter, and, you know, protecting black people's lives, you know, and you know, focused on the police. The police are bad people, you know, they're a bad authority, they're using excessive force, and, you know, it's creating that division, and it's creating that divide. And, you know, people are saying, I said it before, that even well before, if you listen to me a few weeks back now, you know, the way that things were kind of heading, it was heading in this direction, but I didn't think they was going to use put black people in the picture to, you know, incite and kind of create this kind of hostile environment, whereas before it was all, in a way, it was harmonic. This is good and bad, evil kind of stuff, isn't it? It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's just, I don't think people just take the time and just look at this, isn't it? Yeah. How can we be going in? How can we just, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know. So now, what's happening now? You know, it's me against you and all of this stuff. There's all this pitting against each other, isn't it? Class divisions. Yeah. Just based on one thing, okay? And I'm not saying what happened there is a bad thing. Let's look at what happened there, okay? No, like, disrespect to George Floyd or his family or anybody like that that's connected and all of this stuff, okay? But we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be really truthful about what we're talking about, yeah? And just, you know, before we start judging things, okay, being this mighty great judge of all things, okay, and making this kind of rational decision about how we should either respond or react. Are we prepared? What preparations have we got for dealing with those types of situations? Yeah? Because we don't, as a group of people, we don't have the kind of structure that will facilitate the things that we need to do, okay, to protect our people, right? We haven't reached that level yet, unfortunately, and it's not that we haven't attempted to along our road, along our journeys in our lives from generation to generation. We've been doing the work and consistently been doing the work to protect our people, okay? But I think that we're going to need, you know, proper foundations. We need solid structures and foundations, okay, to be able to move us going forward. We just don't have that. We haven't developed ourselves to the levels where we need to put our infrastructures in place to deal with some of the injustices that goes on, and it's been going on for hundreds of years, yeah? And that's our history. And it's created this whole environment now, this atmosphere around kind of black consciousness or African consciousness, and then everything's beginning to rehash, and we're starting to talk about colonialism. We're going to start talking about enslavement, and you know what I'm saying. And you know, it all starts to, all this emotions start to flood out, yeah. But we don't actually have anything in place to deal with all of that, right? But we just seem to be just kind of going around in circles, okay? Because how often I can talk about these types of situations that's been going on, right? I've been around a few decades, okay? And I can tell you about a few insurrections or riots or uprisings or whatever you want to call it, yeah? From back in the 80s here in London and, you know, in different parts of the country, yeah? But it makes me wonder if some of these things are really genuine. Because we can go back to the 60s, yeah? And the 50s. Is some of this stuff that's going on, sometimes we just don't know. We just don't have the facts. We just don't have the information to know exactly what's actually going on and taking place. Because we don't have our own investigation team. Right? Look at our situation now. Right? A lot of our people are dying disproportionately for one reason or the other. And I think last week, I have to apologize. Because last week I was trying to get to a point around the numbers, and if the numbers really stacked up to what they was, okay? Because I'm trying to figure out the numbers, okay, from the time that the first person allegedly that caught coronavirus, COVID-19, okay, that we established that was in the 6th of March here in the UK, okay? The first death from COVID-19 was from an older person with underlying health conditions, right? So that was the 6th of March. But I've been kind of following this. Obviously, I'm following this, okay, because it's a real deep, concerning issue for us. And I want to get as much information as possible. It's very, very difficult, you know, if you're not connected, if you're not with those types of people that have the information in the medical industry, okay? So they was banning around this figure, and I saw it last week. I had the information, and I think I got distracted because I lost the information because I had it there. You know, one of the newspapers, they don't all talk about it, yeah? And they don't give all the figures and all of this stuff, okay? They give you percentages, right? But the Telegraph actually had the figures. They had something like nearly 1,200 people had lost their lives, okay, that they said from or with COVID-19, okay? Or, you know, they would say either of or with COVID-19, right? But most of the time they say with COVID-19 to make sure they protect themselves, okay? Because they know, right, that if you directly say that a person dies, as a medical person, you say the person dies of COVID-19, they died directly of COVID-19, then really you're libeling yourself, isn't it? Because you're lying to yourself because you don't know for a fact, yeah? And the other thing is that, you know, the testing equipment that they're using is not accurate. So it's coming up false positive, right? And plus, again, as some of you may know, that we're going to test positive for various reasons. You know, without isolating what they're talking about, then, you know, you're just going to go down these myriads of different avenues of what's the possibilities of what coronavirus is. Because I don't think anybody's properly defined it. We know it's a common cold, right? And it's one of the strain viruses out of the many cold viruses or coronaviruses, okay? So, you know, they're just trying to baffle us, generally speaking, most people with science. But when I'm looking at the numbers again, going back to what I'm saying, yeah? So they're nearly saying 1,200 people, and then they were saying about, say, 15,000 say it's 15,000 people, yeah. So I'm trying to work out. Well, that's working out to about, on average, it's working out to about 110 to 125 people dying every week. So I could be wrong, right? But that's what it sounds like to me, what they're saying, yeah? The problem that we got is that we've been brought up. I know in my generation, growing up in the 60s, I'm a 60 babes, okay? We was brought up. Oh, let me see if I can get this, okay? Yeah, when I was brought up, okay, we was brought up to be doctors, lawyers, and all of this stuff, right? Let me see. Yeah, phone back again, okay? All right, so apologies for that. All right, so yeah, when I was growing up, okay, my generation anyway, and maybe even a little bit earlier, we would talk about, our parents' generation would inspire us, okay, around having a profession, generally speaking, okay? So what I'm talking about, I'm leading to, is that I know there's loads of doctors out there and professors, right? But why aren't they coming together? If they know that there's a situation or crisis there, right, where a lot of our people are dying disproportionately, why aren't they coming together? Why aren't they informing us, right? Why aren't they coming? Why aren't they doing these big Zoom meetings, for example? Why aren't they using technology? Why aren't they using their skills and experience? Okay, why don't they use their love and their energy and their time? Yeah, because they must have plenty of time because what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why don't they come and say, give back something back to our community in that way? All right, so let me see if I can get this call now. All right, you there?
Jumbo.
Yeah, Jumbo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Yeah, good. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking in my mind, right? Just asking your opinion about these mandatory masks they're planning to bring in on the trains.
On the 15th, isn't it?
Introduced from tomorrow. You know, what's your thoughts on it, brother?
Yeah,
You know,
I don't agree with it.
It's going to cause a lot of health issues, right?
Yeah, definitely don't agree with it. I definitely don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it either.
Exactly. I don't know if people's even talking about it, really. I mean, I talked about it, I touched on it last week.
Yeah.
Just to give people a heads up sort of thing, you know, that you need to prepare yourself. But this is just in London transport. That's like travelling on a train, buses or tubes.
Yeah.
That they're giving you these ultimatums.
Yeah, but where are they gonna stop with this? I mean, are they going to introduce them in the shops as well? You know, you won't be able to go in the shop without a mask. I mean, where do they stop with this?
Yeah, good question.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, nobody's like saying, you know, questioning this, you know, the safety aspects of this. They're actually going to make health worse, you know what I mean? By introducing these masks.
Well, this is what I was saying about the doctors.
And they're basically, it's mandatory now. So therefore, if you don't wear it, you know, you're risk of getting £100 fine, which is absolutely madness in itself.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's going to be people that, go on.
No, I think that this is what I was saying before about having our doctors kind of homing in to, you know, doing something with themselves for a change and coming together. I don't understand this whole black thing, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't understand this whole black thing, innit? I'm not getting it. You know what I mean?
Black? What do you mean?
I don't understand how we as black people, as African people, whatever we want to call ourselves, okay? Yeah. Why are we not coming together? The doctor's meant to be coming together, right, and giving us information and using Zoom, the technology or whatever, and just like...
What doctors though? What black doctors?
Yeah, black doctors. Our own doctors here. We've got hundreds of doctors. Thousands maybe. Right? True. And I'm saying that when I was growing up, that a lot of our people was brought up like that. To aspire to be doctors, lawyers, and you know some fancy stuff. right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But they was inspiring us for better things in to fit us into the system, so that we can get on in the system. That was their idea at the time, right?
Yeah, yeah. But these doctors are part of the system, though, innit? They're not really part of the community. They're part of the system. So
Right. But
obviously they're going to be going by the official narrative, right?
so can we separate ourselves, right, from our, when we say they're not part of the community? Can we separate ourselves from our family, which is a part of the community, and those people that are working in the system? Do you know what I'm saying? Because these are the type of dynamics that's going on. Because maybe those people don't think they're a part of the community, right? And they got that kind of mindset, right? That they think they need to.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
It's just the mindset of our people then, yeah, in that sense, that if they absorb themselves and consume themselves into the system, they get paid. Well, I say paid, grade, and laid, and all of that stuff. Okay, they're in a good place, whatever. All right. But then, it was the family. It was the family that gave them that inspiration, or inspired them to, or helped to contribute to that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's down to the breakdown of community. See?
So we don't care about our families then,
because it sounds down. So that's why we have this European mindset now.
So even though we're saying all this, are we saying that we don't care about our families? Because that's what it sounds like
really,
to
I
me.
don't feel we do.
We don't care about our families.
Not really.
Not enough. Maybe a little bit, but not enough. It's just not enough.
I mean, a lot of our people are not really well informed in the reality of what's going on. A lot of us are kind of going by the national narrative. You know what I mean? They're not really doing research to see if what's going on is right or wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got a big problem in that, because a lot of people get sucked into. You see the visual thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we got a problem with the visual thing as well as the information thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're right. A lot of people don't want to read. They don't want to research. They don't want to study. Right.
Especially our people, because that's what we're focusing on, our people. We're not really focusing on Europeans. We're focusing on our people, right? Yeah,
well, that's what we need to be. We need to be grounded in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, our energy should be for ourselves as a group of people, because we've done everything for everybody else, so we need to, it's about time we start thinking about. From a long time we've been thinking about it, actually, but I think in some cases
all we got is us, right?
Yeah, but I think in some cases a lot of the stuff that we're doing, it gets railroaded for one reason or the other. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been good things that's been happening over the past even 100 years, okay? But it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards situation that we seem to be in that stagnated state.
Yeah.
Where we're
not
not
be going around in circles.
Yeah, right. And I think that really we need to be thinking about building infrastructure, putting infrastructures in place.
When is that ever going to happen, bro?
Right.
I mean, we've been talking about this for decades and decades, and not one. You know what I mean?
The thing is that it's the we. I put the we thing in a bracket. I put the we thing in a bracket.
But anytime we seem to try and set up something, always someone tries to, a couple of individuals try to mash up what we're trying to do. So, I've been involved with organisations, and, it's just little petty arguments to kind of mash up the progress, you know what I mean? So, I don't know when that's going to ever happen, bro, to be honest. I know there's pockets of groups doing things and stuff, but in terms of as a collective, I mean, we're all over the place, bro. We're still following European mindset and European, doctrines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of us got head in religion and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were indoctrinated.
We don't care about the condition of our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're indoctrinated big time in a lot of different things.
Yeah, And that's another problem, isn't it? Religion.
Yeah.
You know my feelings about that.
Yeah.
You know, no offense to people that are religious, you know, fair enough, that's their thing. But you know, you got to think to yourself, you know, what has religion done for the black man? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Black woman,
well,
not much.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about that actually, and I think one of the problems that we got with the religion, right, in able to tackle it is because the Europeans create all these international laws, okay, around human rights, okay, and one of them was like everybody has a right to worship in whatever religion that they desire, okay, so they set that precedence. Do you get what I'm saying? In countries around the globe, that this is the standard. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? So it says, oh, everyone's got a right, yeah? But then our rights are being compromised, okay, or being denied, okay, for so many different things, right? You know, how are we going to change that law, right? If the only way we can do that in Africa or the Caribbean, okay, for example, that's the best example we can go to, because we ain't going to do it in Europe or in America. Or,
no, forget about Europe. Forget about Europe.
Yeah.
Anything we try to set up, you know, the Europeans, you know, tell us we can't do it. So
yeah,
we got to think about, you know, obviously lands that, you know, obviously we inhibit. Yeah.
Yeah. So predominantly Africa and the Caribbean, okay.
Yeah.
And I really do love talking about my people in Africa and Caribbean, even more than in Europe and in the United States. I'll be honest with you, right?
Yeah.
Because to me, right,
yeah,
I'd rather say, you know, support them and try and do everything for them there.
Yeah.
Then I'm not saying I'm not going to do anything here, because I'm doing things here and I'm saying stuff like that. But then I think to myself, okay, where we need to build our centers of learning and developing and thinking, right? We're not allowed to do it in what they, you know, refer to as the white man's land, right?
But are we really allowed to do it in Africa though? And how far can we really go in Africa?
Well, that's the thing,
without,
you see.
The Europeans getting involved and trying to stop us, because you know, black people got this illusion to think that, you know, the Europeans are not in Africa, without them getting involved. You know, we don't have an army of us, you know, to protect ourselves.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is the multi-billion, trillion, quillion question, yeah? Is how do you get rid of, or, because to me, what I was kind of talking about not too long ago about these big investments, okay, and these big investors, okay.
Yeah, but where's our Pan-African?
Forget about them. Forget about the Pan. The Pan is some freak Greek god thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the stupidness, you know, okay. That's not Pan-Africanism needs to think about themselves. And you know, look at themselves reflectively, and change their language and all of this stuff, innit? Right?
True,
because it's gone off. Marcus Garvey, right? Marcus Garveyism tops Pan-Africanism. I don't care what anybody says. What are you talking about? Yeah? They changed the Garveyism to Pan-Africanism. Get the hell out of that. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Because he taught everybody, right, how to develop a mind and a thinking and a process of how to be self-independent, sovereign, autonomous, right? And to be totally free and liberated, okay? Right? From the constraints. And that's why he even tried to get out of America, right? To go back to Africa, to set up things there, right? But that was one of the things they railroaded, the European white supremacy system. They railroaded that because they knew that if Marcus Garvey and the UNI ACL went to Liberia or any country in Africa, right, he was going to create his own government there, have his own army, have his own everything, all right? So he have his own intelligence, his own security, and there's no integration, no assimilation into white businesses, because that's what's mashing up Africa and the Caribbean. It's big businesses and big investment, right? That's when we're talking about enslavement and colonialism, okay, it's the same thing that's going on still right there.
Yeah, but don't forget the Chinese that are there as well. You know,
The Chinese the Chinese come in because the Europeans allowed them to come in. Right?
Yeah, that's not exactly. There you go.
This is a class system, hierarchical system.
Colonialism as well.
Right?
They're another form of colonialism as well.
Yeah, but the Chinese history, I'm not saying they haven't been around for a little while, they have been, and generally for a while it has been peaceful. But I would never trust the Chinese to be part of our liberation. No other group of people can be ever step into our liberation. None. We can't trust nobody.
No, well,
not one iota. Okay,
behind closed doors, they're all working together anyway.
Yeah, there's a secret society thing going on, isn't it? That's there, isn't it? Yeah, they work in secret, right? Yeah. People need to get this in their head, yeah. And
people need to understand that. I mean,
right.
A lot of people don't get it, you know.
Right.
Especially our people.
Yeah. I could talk about this all day long, right?
Yeah.
So I can talk about the effects of us as a group of people and how we've been affected by other groups all day long, right? And how we affect ourselves. So we've got the internal issues and the external issues, right? But the thing is, the reason why we got a lot of external issues, okay, is because we give everybody everything and we take nothing. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So these big investors, they come in, these charity, these good organized so-called NGOs, okay, charity organizations and philanthropies, okay, as well as the corporate elites, yeah. As long as they're flashing their money around, okay, yeah, that's the mindset of our people, that we think we need to grab their money, right? But it only feeds in for the minority, the very few, the boule black elites in Africa. It's not serving the majority of people. The same thing with the Caribbean as well, right? That's a class structure that's in existence. If anybody wants to sort that out, that's what we need to do.
Well, the people, the ordinary people on the ground do not benefit from.
No, that's right. So the majority of our people in the Caribbean and Africa, they're enslaved. It's still colonialism, right? But it's shaped into another form. But it's still colonialism. All black leadership is doing is administrating the system, propping up the system, right? To maintain and sustain a white supremacy system, which is based on capitalism, democracy, or what I call democracy, which is based on exploitation. Yeah, but it's in another form, right?
So you got our people that's involved with it as well, isn't it?
Of course, because to maintain and prop up the system, you have to be a participant. Maybe there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of us don't have any choice. But it's when people are aiding and abetting the system, they become agent provocateurs, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's why we have to be able to be accountable. Get people to be accountable for their actions or their non-actions, and if their acting is shifty, do you know what I'm saying? Right? We should be concerned. So
anyway, coming back to the UK, right? You know, there was a march yesterday. It was a far-right march.
What's that with the EDL and the Football Alliance?
Yeah, but it just looked like a bunch of hooligans. You know, a lot of Millwall and
this is all controlled opposition. Yeah. Basically, people got sucked into this, okay?
Into it, yeah. Exactly.
And like I said this was going to happen anyway, yeah? And like I said, I didn't think that they was going to put black people in it, right? But they put black people in the picture to create the divide and rule, right? Now, this is where we're at. Now, these so-called white supremacist groups, fringe groups, whatever you want to call them, okay? Neo-Nazis, alt-rights, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A long list of things, okay? Yeah, they hate. There's a. I don't think people understand that there's going to be a level of hate, because now the energy is just so. It's just switched, isn't it? Just so very quickly, right?
Yeah, but a lot of it's fueled by the media as well. You know,
the media is a culprit in all of this, right? They're aiding and abetting, right? They work for the elite. They don't work for the common law people no more.
Especially your BBCs and your Sky News and all these. Yeah, they're another arm of the elite.
Yeah, you're right. The mainstream media, they're the instigators and all that. In fact, it's Hollywood. The whole thing is set up.
Everything is staged.
I can't express it any better than
People
that.
don't get it. I mean, people are not going to understand it unless they do research.
Right.
What we're talking about.
Exactly. Right.
You know, the world's a stage. The whole world's a stage, bro.
Exactly. You know, I'm glad that there's brothers like you, that's prepared to have an open mind and things like that. And
yeah, but there's a few of us around, but you know, we don't really have a voice. You know.
yeah, that's a problem, you see, and that's why we want to encourage people here on Fertility Radio, on Sayshara, the platform. You know what I mean? We can do that. We can do that. We can expand the way that we can think and how we're looking at things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really appreciate that, brother, you know.
Yeah.
You know, appreciate Fertility for what they're doing and, you know, providing a platform for the voiceless, you know.
Yeah. And
I've been following them for a while now, and you know, I do love what, you know, DJ Freestyle's doing, you know, and everybody on there. So yeah.
Yeah, we want to encourage people as much as possible.
Absolutely, you know. But yeah, I mean, so what's your opinion about this marching? Then you think?
Well, it's a counteraction
for a long time, or you think it's just a flash in the pan?
Well, look at it this way, yeah. It's a counteraction and a response to another counteraction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because as I said to you last week, right? If you remember, like before this, there was a lot of protests regarding the lockdown situation, and then you see people with banners against Bill Gates and all these things.
Yes.
Right? Now that's directed to the elite. They don't want that.
Yeah.
That's what they're scared of. So now they create this scenario of Black Lives Matter, because obviously, you know, we know that Black Lives Matter is funded by George Soros and the Clinton Foundation.
Well, there's others as well that's involved in that, but he's one of the major from his foundation, Open Society Foundation. Yes, and there's other individuals. They're mainly philanthropists themselves.
It's an elitist organisation. It's an elitist.
We're talking about the billionaire club again, right?
It's a billionaire club, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and he's doing something similar to what Bill Gates is doing. I think it's surprising how many of these philanthropists are doing this manipulating with the monies. Okay, they're billion in dollars. Okay, so. Yeah, they're all in that category, you know. So it's a response to another response and a counteraction to another counterreaction, and it seems like people are just playing silly little games with us, but it's our lives that they're dealing with.
Soon. I mean, this scenario will end, and then they'll probably have a pandemic 2, a coronavirus. You know,
that's
probably worse. Maybe they'll bring the 5G and whatever.
Yeah,
it'll probably be a real pandemic this time.
Yeah, because they've already programmed everybody into that thinking already. There's going to be a second wave, okay?
Yes.
And they're predicting this, that, and the other, right? So they're already programming people's mind already around that already.
That's why they're encouraging people to have masks.
Exactly.
Yeah, because then from the mask.
But actually, you notice that
you develop breathing symptoms and stuff like that. You know, breathing problems. Yeah?
Well, that's the thing about these doctors, isn't it? They're not giving us proper advice around certain things, are they? They're so blase around things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so easy to read this. It's so easy to read the script, you know, when you're awake, you know. It's so easy. Someone like me, because I've been studying it for years, you know. I know what they're up to. You know, but for a lot of people, they're unaware of these things, you know.
So what can we do then? What can we do?
I don't know anybody that's died of this virus. So you know, people saying that they've died of it and stuff like that. I don't know anyone. People
just saying it because that's all they hear all day long, 24 hours a day. So obviously you're going to say what you've heard, isn't it? That's all you're regurgitating. Information that's been given to you, just regurgitating. But no one knows for a fact what they're talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? So if they want to go around saying that.
You can't trust what the doctors are saying anyway.
You can't trust. I don't know who you can trust around here nowadays. What are you talking about? This is a criminal enterprise run by a criminal syndicate. Yeah, the whole system from top to bottom, right? Okay.
It's run by criminals, mate.
It's a criminal enterprise, and they, I think one of the reasons why they bring out all this stuff, okay, is because a lot of them that was committing all these criminal acts, yeah, that's one of the agendas that they're trying to avoid being held accountable for. You know what I'm saying? You see when that Jeffrey Epstein thing came out, I have to go there, right? That's a whole big bubble there that happened there, that, because basically, what I'm saying? It's another conspiracy, like, what happened there, but it's obvious that, a lot of things was going to come out there.
Yeah, because it exposed a lot of people, including Bill Gates as well.
Some top people, man. Right?
And Prince Andrew, right, as well,
Some top people, right? And the thing is, the thing is, one of the worst crimes, okay, I don't know what, this thing, I don't know, does anybody know what's the worst crime on this planet Earth? They're even thinking about it. Is anybody thinking about it? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think people have a clue what's going on out here. For real, though.
No, obviously not. I mean, obviously not, because you listen to sometimes you listen to other radio mediums, and the way they speak. I mean, they don't have a clue of the agenda. I mean, obviously they don't they don't really research.
Because you're right. I heard that recently. Even the Queen's gates was all boarded up. Okay, were they expecting this? Were they expecting? Did they get prior information in advance that this was going to happen? Because to me, that proves again.
Social unrest, kind of.
Yeah, right. Disobedience, civil unrest, and total anarchy, really, in some small degree, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Because in America, it's crazy gone. Some of the states that's over there, it's a mess now. It's gone messy, bruv. Right here.
Yeah, I got my opinions about George Floyd anyway.
George Floyd.
I've looked into that character as well.
I mean, to me, I tell the truth. I don't know. I ask people the question: Who is George?
Another time.
But I think that we don't. I don't really want to talk about it because people's right. So emotional about that.
No, I don't want to get emotional over people.
It's a point. What's the point? Yeah, because everyone's so emotional by the visualization, right? And they've captivated.
I mean, they kill black people. They kill black people every day. All of a sudden, this black man is an idol. You know what I mean? Everyone has to bow and knee and all this.
Yeah, because it's the program, isn't it?
Seems incredible.
It's a program. It's psyops.
When have they ever cared about black people? Think about it, people. When have they ever cared about us and our plight? Come on. They're just using their brain on us, bro. They know that they can get to us emotionally. Yeah.
I think I've got 3:43. I've got a couple texts here. I'm just coming up to I'm coming up to the hours. Yeah. But it says here, we have freedom under a charity in any of the third world countries. People is more free there. Big up. I love that text there.
That one there, bro.
Yeah. You want to read it again? We have freedom under a charity in any of the third world countries. People is more free there. Yeah. That's what I'm saying as well. Right.
Look what they're introducing, as I said, from tomorrow, masks on the train. You call that freedom? Freedom. Soon, one day, they'll be taxing us to breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trust me, they'll bring in a tax for us to breathe in the air.
Yeah, no, they've done that long time, man. They've done that already, bro.
How far will they go with this, brother?
They've done that with the congestion zone, remember? The congestion zone is called ULEZ or whatever it's called now. Yeah. And they pumped that up as well to £15.
So when you think about it, we're actually living in a communist country now.
It's borderline
communism.
A mixture of a lot of different things, They're mixing it up, I think.
All our rights have been taken away from us. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Completely, yeah?
Absolutely.
And people are going along with this. It's amazing.
Well,
you even go to your local Tesco's. I mean, you see the queues out there in the daytime.
Yeah.
People put up with this.
There's so much things going. It's just the change.
You said there was another text, right? You said there's another text.
Yeah, it's from my cousin actually, Janet. She's saying talking about Sound good. You're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, she said. But anyway, yeah. So, there's so much things going on, bro. I'll tell you the truth, okay?
I'm telling you, man, you can't keep up with it, innit? You can't keep up with it, bro.
It's so much people can take, I think, and I think, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we just have to be strong, innit?
You know, sometimes I just feel like this is just one bad dream, you know? I mean, I'm just going to wake up and everything just...
It's a bloody nightmare, bruv.
You know what? It's a nightmare.
It's a bloody nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, mate. That's what it is. It's nightmare.
It's like, we don't need to see it. We don't need a world like this.
It's a crazy world, bruv.
It's mad. It's insane.
I mean, what next?
Right? We're going backwards like 100 miles an hour, like in reverse. It's just, you know?
No, we're going forward, but it's like, what kind of forward are we going into? You know, microchip.
That's not going forward. That's going backward. All that stuff is. Yeah, because who wants to get chip and then they control you, and then you know.
That ain't happening to me, bro. You know, they can kill me, mate. I'm not taking that.
Remember, they're going to monitor you.
I'm not taking their vaccines either. So they can do what they want, mate. As I said to you before, you know, many times, my body, my choice, right?
Absolutely.
You know, I'm not going to accept their microchip or anything into my body. Sorry. You know.
So I'm just coming up to the hour.
Yeah, man. Respect, brother.
If you want, you can call back later, or you can hang on after the adverts and intro. You're welcome to.
I can hang on maybe a bit longer,
Yeah, because there's so much things going on that we covered quite a lot of stuff already, but I want everybody to just keep it locked in and tuned into Ferrity Radio. My name is Sayshara.
Yeah, man, do go.
Keep it locked.
Went to Africa and you told the Africans that they must all become Christians, because if they become Christians, when they die, they will go to heaven, because heaven is a wonderful place. Ladies and gentlemen, if heaven was such a good place, do you think white people will tell black people about it? So we came to England with all the expectations of being equal. Here we are in the mother country. The white man can't come to terms with it. And I'll tell you something, as I've said before. If you English people, not white people, if you're not English, you're welcome to stay in England. If you're English and you don't like the way we are running England, please leave.
All day, every day, playing your favorite songs. This is Ferrity Radio.
Akwesi Boutique are proud sponsors of Ferrity Radio. Akwesi Boutique inspired by 50s and 60s African fashion nostalgia, yet quintessentially British with a London accent, creating custom-made orders for special occasions. Akwesi Boutique create unique hair and clothing accessories that are quirky, classic and stylish for both men and women. Akwesi is a zero-waste design boutique, sourcing distinctive and colourful textiles from remnants, making most of their items one of a kind. You can find Akwesi Boutique on Instagram and Facebook. For more information, email akwesiboutique@gmail.com or visit the website www.akwesiboutique.com.
Ferrity Radio, your nostalgic station.
Listen to Lady A, 4 to 6 on a Friday. Listen to what she say. She has her opinion. This is Lady A. Do you have something to say? Say on Ferrity. You want somebody to listen? Lady A will do that. 4 till 6 on a Friday. Let's talk, people.
This is Sayshara Interactive Talk Show on Prosperity Radio every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Nostalgic Station.
This is the Ebster here. Please join me in conversation on Prosperity Radio every other Sunday between 12 noon and 3 p.m.
This is Akumak, bringing you the latest in music. Good conversations, good vibes, dynamic guests, competition, laughter, and so much more. Join me Sundays, 10 to 12 a.m. on Prosperity Radio, your nostalgic station.
This is Solitude by William Klein Bailey.
You see why they're bringing out all these new things, okay, and calling it the new normal and all of this, okay, because they planned all this stuff already, okay. So they're going to bring on a lot of new things out there for you to get used to. It's going to change your whole social environment. It's going to change the way you work, the way you live, and all of this stuff, okay. And this is what psychological operations is all about. Okay, so we're gonna have to get to understand what psychological operations is, and I've just given you a little insight into it. Okay, now what a psych truly is, it's a psychological operations to convey selected information and indicators to audiences influence the emotions, motives, and objective reasoning, and ultimately the behavior of governments, organizations, groups, and individuals. Various techniques are used and are aimed at influencing a target audience's value system, belief system, emotions, motives, reasoning, or behavior. It is used to induce confessions or reinforce attitudes and behaviors favorable to the originator's objectives, and are sometimes combined with black operations or false flags tactics. It is also used to destroy the morale of enemies through tactics that are aimed to depress one's psychological state. Okay, now maybe you should look into some things that's been happening. I'll just give you a little insight. Some of the things that you may need to look at. I'm sure some people are not unfamiliar with what I'm talking about when talking about psychological operations, okay? And like I said, they've got plans out here, okay? That it's out there. You just got to read it, all right? And there's many plans that they put out there. And maybe as time goes, we'll look into some of them, or we'll touch on it and everything, stuff like that. But, often enough, these plans are, maybe a couple hundred pages, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of information. But there have been people that have looked into the information. I've got the information. I'm sure you can download it and stuff like that. And you'll see that it gives you the impression that they're doing something really good beyond the scenes. It looks really genuine, yeah. But in reality, it's going to be all about total population control. In fact, if I remembered, I got something that actually touches on it, and maybe if I go there, maybe it'll give you an idea of, or give you some semblance of an idea of what I'm talking about, and you'll be able to see for yourself that, I'm not just talking about it. It's something that's happening out there, and it's gonna be something that's gonna change the whole system and the way, like how we used to be. Let me see if I can. Not sure which one is it now. Okay, let me think. Like I've got so many videos now. Let me check. No, that's not it. Here it is. Okay, let me see if I got it. Alright, so yeah, I got it here. So let's see if we can play this now.
You're not going to get this information from the mainstream press. People in the United States are completely unaware of this. If I go out and talk about this, the United States press attacks me. Everything that we're looking at now is destined to collapse our economies. This is a corporatocracy. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. This is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. So many of us around the world think that, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. and about 75% of the population lives in large cities. The goal is to move everyone out of the rural areas and into the large cities. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. You are not going to get thrown on a train car. You will just have your roads out in the rural areas pulverized and turned to gravel. You'll have your family well monitored. You will have your energy restricted. You will have your school service cut, your sheriff's service cut. You will find that you are not able to get your goods to market, and then you have to move into the city. And then you will move into this high-density development that is subsidized with our property tax dollars, and pretty soon you will have the Wildlands Project, which is predicated on moving people out of the rural areas. And this is how it happens. Globalization is the standardization of all systems. So that includes water, law enforcement, education, energy. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. The three pillars of United Nations Agenda 21 are economy, ecology, and equity, the three E's. And everyone sort of thinks that they know what that means, the idea of social equity. It must mean that, well, everyone's going to have access to clean water and clean air, and no one's property is going to be used as a dumping ground because they are at a poverty level. But really what social equity is about impoverishing huge portions of the population and bringing down the developed nations. So you need to be your own press. You need to educate yourself. You need to get out there and educate your neighbors, your community, your real community. You need to help your children understand that they're being indoctrinated from pre-kindergarten to postgraduate school. All of us have a responsibility to ourselves and to others to work for personal freedom. And always remember that even though we work as a group, if we do work as a group, we're all individuals in those groups, and we answer only to ourselves. This is essential. It's essential. As free human beings, this is what we are. We are free, and we need to continue to be free. But we have to become aware and then make our friends and our neighbors and our community aware as well, and work together.
Yeah, Jumbo, Tep. Back again, Sayshara on the set. Telephone numbers are 07305 417 668. Alright, so you heard it there. Just what it is, okay? And you can see some of the things are actually happening now. It's going to put in place. And it's just a matter of time. But what I'm saying is before all this, before, you know, it's like we're going to get a rollover of different events after a different event, okay? It's like one event after another, okay? They're just going to, you know, what next is going to happen, right? But don't be surprised. Remember I said to you, like, they're going to try and find a way to put us in the picture. They try to put us in the picture in China. You see how the Chinese were treating our people there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah? And, you know, that causes division. And you think that in a time of so-called crisis, okay, where, you know, everybody's supposed to be getting on with everybody, generally speaking, okay, there shouldn't be this kind of pitting against each other. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the main concern? I think the main concern is that everybody wants to be safe. There's a so-called virus just, you know, buzzing around all over the place, okay, and nobody wants to get affected by it. And that's the mindset. That's what's going on there, yeah. But then you see, oh, there's all that stuff going on in China, right? Then you're hearing that black people in America and in this country, maybe in Europe, are disproportionate. They're putting a label on us that it's disproportionate, right? That black people are dying of so-called COVID-19 and coronavirus, okay? Are they true? Are they telling the truth, or are they actually lying? Do you know what I'm saying? Or are they hyping the whole thing up? Okay? To suspect that that's the appearance that they want to give, that we're the main ones that's going to be suffering from this so-called contagion. Yeah? So it makes it look like that all diseases, we're labelled with all the diseases. So anybody's going to get the diseases, we're going to get it, and we're going to get it the worst. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? But that's why we need to understand about these vaccines, right? Which I'm totally against a lot of different things, innit? Yeah, I don't support Black Lives Matter. I'll tell you this much, okay? This is very controversial for you lot, but I don't support Black Lives Matter. I don't support Hope and Society Foundation that contributes to Black Lives Matter. In fact, remember Black Lives Matter was started off by an hashtag, BLM, sorry, Black Lives Matter, which in another acronym could stand for Black Liberation Movement, right? But they're there basically to neutralize the Black Liberation Movement. That's what they're there for. That's what they were created for, okay? So if people want to get hyped up with that, okay, and I don't agree with it at all, right? And there's lots of things wrong with it. Lots of things wrong with that. Do you get what I'm saying, yeah? And in fact, people need to do their proper research on everything they're talking about. Don't just talk about it. Read what they're about. Read what's their ideology about. Read about who's financing, who's bankrolling them. Just because they're black or African, boom, doesn't mean they're black or African. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? Because there's lots of people that claim to be black and African, claim to be Pan-African, claim to be African-centered, claim to be African conscious, and all of this stuff, okay? And they go around, doing what? What are they doing? Yeah? They're sleeping with the other opposition. Yeah? They're going to bed with the opposition. They're working with the opposition. They're advising them. They're aiding and abetting with them. They're provocateurs. They're agents, right? They're like people that claim to be our part of liberation. That's why there's a lot of people, they bring out these people now, that are charlatans, living off civil rights and our rights and our you know what I'm saying, the things that our people have struggled off. People just looking after themselves. So what they do is they throw money at everything, innit? Control opposition. And a lot of people don't see that. That's been going on. They did all that. All this is just a repeat of Ferguson. It's just on a bigger scale, because Black Lives Matter is like all over the place now. They've built themselves up from 2013 now. What we're in now, to 20, right? So we're 2020. That's like 7 years ago, right? So I'm saying, okay? And you need to look at this Open Society Foundation, because their record is appalling. And in other countries, they've been kicked out. They've been kicked out of half a dozen countries. What are you talking about? Yeah? They're agitators. This group here, they go around agitating in different countries all around the world. And it's borderline treasonous what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Right? So we need to be careful. Some of our people need to be careful. I talked about this years ago, that we need a really good security and intelligence system, but it's no good if we don't have like an infrastructure that's a power base, right? It's a power base, okay? So I understand when people talk about having our own economics, but I don't think it's about just having our own economics based on a European model. Let me see if I can get this call, yeah? Sayshara. Burchak.
Sorry to disrupt you. I'm Burchak. Yeah, for those who have tuned on. I'm telling you from all that you gathered, and you talked about your data, your personal stuff, and everything like that. What we're doing, what we're having, and what's happening today, and serious times. Yeah, like I don't know. Like now that they've already introduced this thing. Now I have to wear a mask on the COVID, and I can tell you that.
Yeah, but you only have to wear a mask on London transport or when you're travelling on public transport.
But as I was saying, I'm not going to repeat what the man's saying. But as a person who's disabled myself, it does seem uncomfortable. I do seem uncomfortable wearing the mask. And
have you tried it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, okay. And you don't feel happy with it?
I wear a black mask that, only I can see my eyes and things and stuff. But the saying that some of these masks aren't really protective to, someone could come and cough into your face, still get it, Some of these things that's like even in pharmacy, right? The protective, whether they're going to have to now start to wear a whole full mask, and then they're going to start introducing, clothing that will protect the asthma. And that people start to walk around that, people are going to look weird.
Well, to me, going back to what this whole thing is, I'm going back to what you just said there, yeah? That if this thing was very, very highly contagious, if it was deadly virulent, okay, as they were saying, you would have to, the only thing that could protect you would be an hazmat suit. So to me, I don't understand that the National Health Service, okay, or the Public Health England, or whatever they want to call themselves, okay, they don't have that there. And unless, you know what I'm saying, for the frontline workers, like the doctors and nurses, okay, and some of the care workers that's working there and all of this, all the staff, okay. So to me, if it was serious, as they said it was serious, going back to, say, February or March, okay, right, and it was getting about a bit, right, there's a lot of things that didn't really make sense because they were still inviting people in from other countries. The planes were still coming in, right? Nobody was, you know what I'm saying? It's just a bag of confusion, right? But what I'm saying is, if you see when it talks about protection, right? We all need to be protected, okay? We all want to be safe. I wouldn't take that from anybody, you know what I'm saying? But remember Sweden didn't do it, right? They didn't shut down and lock down and do all this quarantine and all this extremist stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to me, they was all right as far as I'm concerned. They call it herd immunity and all of this stuff, okay, right? And they was all right, and there may be other examples out there. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's over proportional. It's over proportional, the measures that they're taking, and in a way, it's a fraud. It's a fraudulent thing that they're doing, because if it was really, really serious, right, like you just said, okay, PPE is not going to protect you from that.
Well, that is why there's always this confusion now, and I'm confused myself, because I'm thinking, well, some people say the World Organization, China, but if it was a very, very serious, which one day you will see that now people are saying that the new pandemics are being created as we speak, and then make it more serious, make it more confusion, make it more thing, so people will have to change their things, and this time they're going to wear hazmat suits, or they're going to wear different suits. And then what's going to happen is that, in the end, what will happen is, just like in Italy where they were dropping down packets of food packets, we're going to come to that. So, God forbid.
So in Israel, when did they do this?
Remember when Italy was seriously with the virus, they had to drop down packets.
Well, you're saying recently, you're talking about recently, a couple of months ago.
Yeah, a couple of 4 months ago, or thing when it was very serious. Italy couldn't even go out, the lockdown and everything. They couldn't even go out. Now they seem to have handled it, with the help of other countries, and with the help of Far East countries, and with the help of things. Now they start to open up the things. Here, though, is so much confusion that even if I was to know about the COVID, I could not be able to understand it. And plus, there's now new diseases being manufactured. So if, God forbid, someone really manufactured and then put it out there, and we are stuck, then you told me, Sayshara, you told me off air, what are you going to do about it, Burchak? Because I know that as a disabled person, I could not be able to handle the queue, Sayshara. The lining up the queue, you have to line up all the way at the back. Yeah, there's not been no sympathy no more. I haven't, like they say, go to the queue, darling, even if it's hot and in the sun. I told the lady, look, I'm hot, It's in the sun. I could get glaucoma, but still don't seem to listen. In the end, someone that was very sympathetic and knew about this kind of glaucoma and things like that, they said, "Come through. You're go through." So basically, and not just me, Sayshara, everybody's struggling. Someone that's disabled with the crutches, they're in the queue. Everything's now just gone out of confusion. They're telling now that they want to open up the shops. Now they're saying they're putting it back. They're saying, yeah, we're going to open up tomorrow, where the shops are going to open. Then they're going to put it back again. So we don't know. They're confusing themselves. They're U-turning. They're doing this. They're doing that. And even reading about the COVID, it doesn't really tell the symptoms and things. So I'm very confused as a disabled person because they use jargon words. They don't use easy read words. They don't use things. You understand what I mean? And we just can't know, we just can't know. But for me, yes, there's this virus going around. Yes, people have been affected by one man spitting at someone. And now, one man
how do you know that's
coming.
I don't know. I think I've been hearing things, and I think a lot of stuff. I think what people need to. I want to stop you there, yeah, because what I want people to see is that there's a propaganda war out here, right? For the minds of the mass populace of people.
Propaganda war,
right?
Biologic war, thing war. Because even look at us, right? I go, Sayshara, look, me, yeah. I'm a person that goes out, right? It never. When in 94, 95, 96, even 97, even 2000s, even 2007 and everything, I wasn't going to sleep straight away. But it's like a lot of the people now, they walk in time sleeping. They want to go home and go sleep. It's like the chemtrails that's been spread out here. Even what they put in the drinks years ago, you wouldn't have that. You just have a natural thing. Even the chocolate.
What do you mean years ago? They've been doing this for stuff for years, bro. They're killing people, poisoning people through foods, through the air, through drinks, everything.
Big. No, it wasn't big when I was.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, because they've been doing it before I was born. Alright?
But now.
But there's no buts. Okay, we need to know that. Okay, and that's the problem that we got. We got a system that's perpetuating this kind of model, right? That's not it's not healthy for the majority of people on the planet Earth. It's not healthy, okay? And it's all about big business influencing the monopoly of the system, okay, to manipulate the system so that they can get round any loopholes, okay, to kill people off softly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I messed up there, but now what it is, the radiations that come out of the phone, the radiations that come out of the computers, the radiation that comes out of the internet, the radiation and everything, even like when you're listening to these wireless earphones that come out, even the radiation that comes out of them. Years ago,
but you're talking about Bluetooth.
Yeah. Now, years ago, there weren't that much Bluetooth around, but years ago, Sayshara, I was more awake than then. I was awake. I was like waking up to the night, to what I was done.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. I see you're more fatigued, yeah? You find yourself more and more fatigued or drained, weaker.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you're saying, I'm trying to get to what you're saying now. So you're saying basically that when you was younger or some time back in your life, okay, you was more energetic. Now you feel
2005, 6, 7, yeah. But now I feel like, I just don't want to dance with it. All the things that
one of the things that you need to do, generally speaking, okay, is just look at your environment, okay, and see what you can do to make your environment a better place for you to feel comfortable in. So if you think that your Wi-Fi, if you got Wi-Fi, and you think that you're affected by the Wi-Fi and that energy, okay, then get rid of it, just go hardwire. You can go hardwire. You know what I'm saying? Obviously,
what it is, I wouldn't have to talk to you this off air. But what I'm going to say to you is that coming back. Sorry, I will talk to you off air one time when we have the time. But what I'm saying is that things are happening right now. Propagandist war. People are already tired. Like they come in the COVID-19. It's always been so. Then this George thing. People are seemed very depressed. People now from the riots that is happening now, pushing out a riot. Yeah, we're going to see. And this time they're going to say 40 meters back, please. Yeah, because they're scared of, there's going to be something. Someone's going to create something. And then we're going to get even more paranoid. So more laws, more things. That is why I'm saying that these agent provocateurs, and it always comes all into this, these agent provocateurs who are there in the march, we don't know, with the masks and everything, the Black Lives Matter and everything, they want to always push it too far so that then these agent provocateurs, they won't know their name, and then we're going to see more laws, more things, more less freedom, and this is what their game is. I don't need to repeat myself. What needs to be done is the spreading of information, but it's not enough. People have been cutting videos from YouTube. People now they're saying,
well, what I'm going to say,
I'll
give you a little time to wrap up, okay? But YouTube is utterly censored now, and Google and all that. Remember, they're all one of the same people, okay? They're working
Facebook
with the same group of people.
Facebook, WhatsApp, Skype, everything now that you're sharing. I mean, even if you try to create a station of your own, even that's going to be censored. I mean, like, we are in deep dog crap, basically, unless someone finds a way to actually diminish the
what someone?
Yeah, the thing to transmit, or something finds a way to diminish the thing. But you know what, Sayshara? I've seen people have got more greed. There's been more greed. It hasn't changed. The COVID hasn't teaching people no lessons. You're going to see. Yeah.
I'm going to let you
go. I'm going to wrap up by saying this. You won't believe it, but the COVID, yeah, and even on the Turkish TV news channels, when they talk about things, when they get each other's throats sometimes, but they say the COVID hasn't teaching people lessons. They still are at each other. They still crime running rampant. There's even unheard of cases now of things that's happening in England right now. They haven't learned their lessons. They're just like, what it said, people don't learn from their lessons. Okay. Unless there's going to be something serious going to happen, and then people are going to say, but it's too late.
No, it's never too late. But Bertak, I think you said enough, all right? And I think we get the picture. So
these are tests from the act of God, basically. But if we can do these tests, if we can handle it, we can.
Yeah. You're God.
No, I mean, it's just an act of
It's a generalization, you said, God, didn't it? Generalization.
Right, so anyway, up there, Sayshara. Anyway, bye.
Yeah,
I'll leave you to it.
100.
Tune in to Sayshara, the voice for the voiceless on Fafurity Radio. www.fafurityLondon.co.uk. Sayshara, the most topical radio presenter, coming from London, England, live every Sunday, 3 till 6 p.m. Sayshara.
Right, Sayshara here on Fafurity Radio. You're welcome to call in and comment on anything that's been said so far by me or anybody that you've heard so far. And the telephone numbers are 07305 417 668. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to jump into some information, okay? Now, I want to talk about the latest thing that's happening, isn't it? That's what I want to be talking about, right? Not all that stuff that's going on out there. All that stuff there, really, we need to... what I want to say, my best advice to our people, generally speaking, is this, okay, right? Is let's not jump the gun, innit? Yeah? Because we keep on doing this, repeating and perpetuating the same things over and over. We've been doing this for the 60s. We've burned it down everywhere. It's not working. We've been demonstrating, protesting, rioting, and just like what Burchett said, okay, you got provocateurs, agents now, okay, that are actually instigating and orchestrating the whole thing, isn't it? Yeah, you can't tell who's running these. It's controlled opposition, isn't it? Right? And if you see, like I said, the Open Society Foundation and how they operate, okay, and stuff like that. This is what they do, yeah. So whether it's Antifa, whether it's Black Lives Matters, you know, whatever color you want to color it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's not how we operate. We don't operate like that. Let me see if I can get this call. For 32. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Grand Rising. It's Auntie Jean here. How
Big
you
up.
doing?
I'm doing good so far.
Good. I heard that you say you was going into what's on, so I thought let me call in for the what's on. Auntie Jean's African Culture Market is on this evening. We're from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we have Nat and Stella B, or should I say Stella B and Nat, Showcase platform host. And we have our brother Econ, who's known for the Eat to Live and Not to Die.
Big up Econ, brother Econ, young Econ, yeah.
Yeah, so brother Econ is going to be doing a presentation this evening, along with our brother Mandingo.
Big up Mandingo, where I say, I'm definitely locked in. You know what happens sometimes, yeah? Sometimes what happens is that I got like a double Zoom meeting, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to get two things going now. But anyway,
I
yeah.
know, because also it clashes with the reparations. The reparations have got a Zoom meeting this evening as well, so it's like wouldn't be able to make it for this evening. But yeah, brother Mandingo is going to be commemorating the Right Honourable Marcus Messiah Garvey, whose 80th anniversary of his passing to the ancestors was Wednesday the 10th of June. So that was it 1940? So you do have to register in advance. It is a long number, so what I suggest is that you give me a call. Who wants to give me a call? 07 961 886 032. I shall repeat: 07 961 886 032. And that's for this evening's webinar for Auntie Jean's African Culture Market. As because of the COVID situation, as I said, everything's got to be virtual now. So there's not so much the physical anymore. But yeah, so that's for this evening.
What time do you say it was?
Between 7 o'clock and 10. So tune in at 7. Brother Mandingo is going to be on early. So he's going to be starting, kicking off the actual African Culture Market this evening.
Yeah, is there anywhere else they can get that information?
Via WhatsApp, Facebook. I'm going to just post it on Instagram now. I did Facebook yesterday. I'm going to do it again today. I've just been doing the rounds on the WhatsApp, and I'm going to do the Instagram as well. And other than that, give me a call on this number, 07, I know I repeated it, 961 886 032. And if you call me, then I can send you the link to your number. That will be easier thing to do. There's once you register, there isn't a password, so hopefully it'll be a lot easier to get in. Because we had some problems, a couple of weeks back or a week back, with the people trying to get in. But yeah, good on you with this show. Interesting topics.
Yeah, I haven't finished yet, but yeah, much appreciated for that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right then.
Much
Good, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Much appreciated. There you go. Jean.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, so you heard it there. Okay. I love Marcus Garvey and his foundations and his organisation, the UNI, ACL, and that's the best model that we got, to be honest. But a lot of our people unfortunately is not getting it, or they get it but they're not actually applying it, or it's about something else. You know what I'm saying? We're not focusing on the things that we need to do right there, to do with the Marcus Garvey philosophy, ideology, foundation, and self-governance. And, you know, again, like I said, I think the whole thing around when we're talking about our liberation and stuff like that, there's a saying somebody said recently. This is so funny as well, right? That, you know, we live in a system. Everyone's talking about racism now, innit? And bringing down statues and all of that. And that's fine, you know what I'm saying? Because those statues are there to that represent a personification and a glorification of their greatness, their whiteness. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're there for, you know. But I think that, yeah, I mean, I think there's a time and place for all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we should get wrapped up into all of this excitement. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? And that we need to know how to strategize around these types of things. We just don't have no structures in place, innit, to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? We need to get to a place. You see, what's happening is that everybody's just feeding off our energy, and they love it, and they abuse it, and they manipulate. Remember I said to you now, right, that we've been used and abused, and now we're being battered and bruised. Okay, we always come up the worst. When anytime anything comes down like that, money gets thrown in different direction towards that situation, but the people that's supposed to get it never get it, right? So going back to what I was saying, that this situation that you see that's happening now, let me go back. Let me get this called for Ferrity Radio. Say Sayshara.
Yeah, Jumbo, it's me again. It's my fun, yeah.
You're welcome.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I just got. I'm just looking on the Black Lives Matter website, right? Because you know you mentioned Black Lives Matter, right?
Mm.
And then basically, I was looking on what page is this now?
Because I don't want people to get sucked into Black Lives Matter, right?
Yeah, that's
because I don't agree with their ideology, and I don't care if anybody don't like what I'm saying, because I'm not going to pay words.
Matter, disinformation thing, you know what I mean? So now I see this little section here. It says here, help us fight disinformation. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I've seen that.
We need to see what you see. Black Lives Matter is a central target of disinformation, and you are a key line of defense. Report suspicious sites, stories, ads, social accounts, and posts about BLM.
Yeah, well, they got
what do you think of that?
The people that, remember now, the people that's actually supporting them and backing them, financing, bankrolling them, they will give them the logistics, okay, to go and get whatever professional skills, tools, or help that's available to them. Do you get what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff is, you know, don't get me wrong, they'll use some of their own creativity around Black Lives Matter, did the whole, you know, agenda that they have, right? They'll create their own creativity. That's fine, yeah. But it's only gonna fit just a few individuals, not the majority.
Exactly.
That's why their ideology is not for the majority of our people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And plus, like I said, it's funded by a group of capitalists. They invest in black groups.
Yeah,
and
it's
movements.
very well organised, isn't it? See the way they organise everything, all these marches. Well,
Right.
very well organised. I've been hearing that some of the marches, they're providing drinks and all these things. Yeah? I mean, where they get the money for all that? You know, there's obviously big people behind it.
Yeah, well,
Not black people giving them the money.
Well, I've seen videos where they've laid bricks out there, innit? Stacks of bricks in areas where there's no building works.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Also, I've been looking on their website About Us page, and it says here we affirm. It says we are collective liberators who believe in an inclusive and spacious movement We also believe in order to win and bring as many people with us along the way, we must move beyond the narrow nationalism that is all too prevalent in the black community. This shows it's not a black thing. We must ensure we are building a movement that brings all of us to the front. And we are the lives of black, queer, and transgender folks, disabled folks, and undocumented folks with records, women, and all black lives along the gender spectrum.
Yeah.
So
it's about.
I don't know.
That's what the Open
that
Society Foundation is about. The Open Society Foundation is in the language. They're open to anything and everything. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So we're not that type of group of people, right? But what they're trying to do, they want to get us to assimilate, right, into their sickness, right? So I can only say that, right? Because to me, that's not going to work. We're very procreative people. We procreate, okay? That's our agenda, right? So it poses our agenda because they don't want to. They're not talking about procreating. I'm saying, yeah, they're talking about destroying and everything's about destruction as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely not a black organization.
Even
the way it's designed, the website, you can see it's done by Europeans.
Well, there's three women. It's a feminist type of ideology.
Yeah, it's a feminist thing,
right?
Yeah, but I mean, they put them on the forefront, but you can see the way they've done it. This is completely European.
Yeah.
And also, if you look on their shop, they're selling T-shirts and making money via donations.
Yeah,
they've collected a large amount of money. So all these billionaires that have set this thing up, they're actually making a lot of money from this.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
They're using our name,
they use our energy, right? They've been doing it for decades, even before the 60s and the 50s. They've been doing this for years, right? For decades. I mean, right? The NACP, which is the what they call, I think they still call it the Negro African Association for Colored People or something like that.
But I just looked on their merchandise section. They've got links with FUBU. I mean, come on, man. This is nothing to do with black people, is it?
They got a link with who?
FUBU. You know the company FUBU.
FUBU.
FUBU. You remember FUBU?
Yeah, FUBU used to be black.
In the 90s. They were big in the 90s. You remember they were big with the rappers and stuff, yeah? FUBU, yeah. They got links with FUBU, bro. FUBU Black Lives Matter T-shirts. So they got European companies that's basically funding, their merchandise and stuff like that. Right. They got pens, they got rubber bracelets, they got hats, they got masks. I mean, come on, bro.
But didn't FUBU used to be black?
FUBU black? I don't think it is anymore. Mate.
Okay.
That was taken over a long time ago by Europeans, bro.
And that's the thing; they take over a lot of things, and I don't think black people. I don't think they're getting it.
No, I don't think they're getting it, bro.
Yeah,
what I'm saying. We got this Black Lives Matter is infiltrating black people in it, our movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what they're trying to. They're gonna do. The whole idea is basically to neutralize the black liberation movement, which is what they're doing. They're trying to neutralize it. So the idea, the concept of it sounds like all this open stuff. It sounds like, yeah, we're all free to do whatever we want kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah. But we're not all free to do what we want. What are you talking about? Right? That's the impression that they want to give people, right? Yeah. That as long as you're a freak, as long as you're a sissy, yeah, and all of this stuff, that's what makes you free. No. What are you talking about? Right, we don't.
Yeah, but this person called George Soros, I mean, he's involved with so many other things as well.
Yeah, and he gets away with it. What I'm saying is that these characters,
including the Extinction Rebellion, right?
These investors are like parasites, right, on our communities, and they've been doing this parasitic, perpetual behavior for decades, right? And they use our leaders, right? They use our black leaders, okay, to be able to do it. The leaders are the gateways to our community, the people that claim to represent us, okay? Because what they do, these leaders, okay, they compromise their position, right, for power, right, for money, yeah, for material things. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? This is what's going on. Yeah. We've got this boule type mentality, right? Where even those that's got money, they can't even do nothing for the community because they've signed up a contract. They signed a contract telling them, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that, right? Now, to prove people, let's prove these people now, yeah? Because we talked about Marcus Garvey, how they railroad Marcus Garvey's movement, okay, from going forward, progressing and advancing, right? If they never interfered, bringing black people to spy on Marcus Garvey. Remember, the FBI, they created at least 3 black agents, okay, FBI agents to spy on Marcus Garvey, yeah? Maybe more, right? Yeah? And they sabotaged a lot of things, yeah? The boats, everything they sabotaged, all of that stuff, innit? Yeah? Sabotaged him from going to Liberia. And then in the 60s, they had the COINTEL program that the same J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, right, that were actually getting these leaders that they was focusing on the black leadership, okay, and maybe other leaders.
Same way they destroy the black counterpart.
Right, to destroy the black leadership, right, and to control them, right. So this is the legacy and the remnants of this. That's what's been going to destroy the black leadership, not just in America, but in Africa and the Caribbean, right, and wherever we are in Europe or in America. Do you get what I'm saying? Right. So a lot of people forget all that. Right, so when we look at these leaderships now, the leadership that we got now, they're tame, they're lame, yeah, and they're out of their game.
Yeah, people like Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton is a charlatan. He's a charlatan, just like Jesse Jackson. I say that all day long. He hasn't got. A lot of people don't respect him like before. Anybody that know this by now, these people are parasites, paralytic. Yeah, and we've got loads of these characters that's not being held accountable for their actions or their non-actions. They're working for the opposition, the other side, the other man, right? To keep us. They don't do nothing. What they do? They just come
remember, we're talking from research. You know what I mean? Because we actually research these people in it to see where they're coming from. You know, before we, basically, we're not just bringing out these wild conspiracy theories. You know, we know what these people are about. You know what I'm saying? But, people are picking and getting, are they? But yeah, just have to fold in about Black Lives Matter because, a lot of our people are well involved with them, going to their marches and thinking that there's going to be some kind of change.
There's going to be some miraculous change, and this is a brilliant opportunity to take
it wasn't designed
to grasp it.
For change, Black Lives Matter.
Well, they've been around 7 years. Okay. What have they done? Huh?
Have you ever seen them, right? When black on blacks killing each other, right? Our people kill each other. You ever see Black Lives Matter?
Bro, they don't do nothing. When black people was getting killed there, did they do anything? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Why are we getting caught up with what's going on in America?
That's died. That we don't even know who he is. Yeah.
Why are we getting caught up with that? Yeah. He's not a politician, right? He's not a well-known black politician. I don't understand that. He's not a celebrity in any shape or form, musically or instrumentally or anything. I don't. Who is he? Who is he? Right? But he's a human being. Right? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, blacks die every day. And all of a sudden, this black man, he's everywhere. He's in every country. Everybody's kneeing to him. Down and stuff and bowing to his, you know what I mean?
That's what.
Like, what's special about this black man? You know what I mean?
No, because
any others that died.
They're just using that scenario, that scene, that event. Yeah, it's all planned, isn't it? It's pre-planned. Yeah, to pacify everybody now into this thinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. To distract people from what the true agenda is. The real agenda is.
What they should be focusing on is the vaccinations the mass vaccinations that they're planning to pull on the people. Yeah, that's what our people should be focusing on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are we going to counteract that? You know what I mean? And also, and other things. Yeah. Okay, that they're rolling out. Again, they keep pulling the same old game on us, yeah?
It's the same thing, bruv. It's the same thing. They do this all the time. I don't know what people's talking about. I don't see. We've not benefited from any of this nonsense whatsoever, yeah? And it might sound like, to me, it's a mess, isn't it? To me, I just think it's a mess. What are you talking about? You're burning down your home buildings, businesses, and all of that stuff, okay? Right? That people have worked for a long, long time for, You know what I'm saying? You're not going to the places where the real things are happening.
Yeah, well, they got this other group, and George Soros is finally called Antifa, isn't it? Antifa, what is it?
Antifa, yeah. They're meant to
Yeah,
be called
basically,
anti-fascists.
and they're going in America. They're going to black areas specifically and burning down their buildings. Now they're meant to be for black people, right? They're meant to be defending black people's rights, but yet they're burning down black businesses. Yeah,
exactly.
So what is this all about? Yeah,
it's a loss.
You know,
we're losing all the
quite
time.
a few videos of black businesses being being burned down.
Yeah. And the thing is,
and,
they're not even meant to be. I think it's just dumb, innit? It's just dumb, innit? Yeah, we're in a lockdown situation, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now we're just going on like. I don't understand what's happened though. The frustration and all of this stuff, innit? Being imprisoned and the effects of being in prison for how many weeks and months. So now everyone's just running riot now, innit? They're just running loose like.
Running riot? What? Going to the trainer shop and robbing the trainer shops and stuff?
Because they've been
targeted though. Why don't they go to places like CNN, burn them down?
Because they're programmed, bro. They're programmed. They're programmed.
That's where it comes from, bro.
They're mind control, right? Mind control. Do you get what I'm saying? Because these people are easy to mislead. They're easily misled. That's all it is,
anyway,
right?
Whatever.
And like you said, a lot of things. It's more to do with the Europeans or the white people call themselves white people, classify themselves. They're the ones that's doing all the looting and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're doing a lot of it.
Anyway, I just hope our people can wake up one day. You know what I mean? Before it's too late. Yeah, because I don't know. Where we're going to be led to be honest with you.
It's going nowhere, bro. It's going nowhere.
We don't know
it's
what.
Going nowhere. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what I'm going to say is I've got
know
a few seconds coming up to the hour.
All right, brother. I respect, Just wanted to chime in on the Black Lives Matter because you mentioned it before.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to
Well,
talk
you
about
don't
it.
support them as well, so I understand that.
Ooh. I respect,
Yeah, respect. 100%. 100. Yeah. All right, coming up after the break, you'll keep it locked in and tuned into Sayshara on Prosperity Radio.
You went to Africa and you told the Africans that they must all become Christians. Because if they become Christians, when they die, they will go to heaven. Because heaven is a wonderful place. Ladies and gentlemen, if heaven was such a good place, do you think white people will tell black people about it? So we came to England with all the expectations of being equal. Here we are in the mother country. The white man can't come to terms with it. I'll tell you something, as I've said before. If you English people, not white people, if you're not English, you're welcome to stay in England. If you're English and you don't like the way we are running England, please leave.
All day, every day, playing your favorite songs. This is Prosperity Radio.
Akwesi Boutique are proud sponsors of Prosperity Radio. Akwesi Boutique inspired by 50s and 60s African fashion nostalgia, yet quintessentially British with a London accent, creating custom-made orders for special occasions. Akwesi Boutique create unique hair and clothing accessories that are quirky, classic and stylish for both men and women. Akwesi is a zero-waste design boutique, sourcing distinctive and colourful textiles from remnants, making most of their items one of a kind. You can find Akwesi Boutique on Instagram and Facebook. For more information, email akwesiboutique@gmail.com or visit the website www.akwesiboutique.com.
Prosperity Radio, your nostalgic station.
Listen to Lady A, 4 to 6 on a Friday. Listen to what she say. She has her opinion. This is Lady A. Do you have something to say? Say on Verity. You want somebody to listen? Lady A will do that. 4 till 6 on a Friday. Let's talk, people.
This is Sayshara Interactive Talk Show on Verity Radio every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Nostalgic Station.
This is the Ebster here. Please join me in conversation on Verity Radio every other Sunday between 12 noon and 3 p.m.
This is Akumak, bringing you the latest in music, good conversations, good vibes, dynamic guests, competition, laughter, and so much more. Join me Sundays, 10 to 12 a.m. on Verity Radio, your nostalgic station.
This is Solitude by William Klein Bailey.
Sayshara back on the set once again on Verity Radio. Keep it locked and tuned in. Telephone numbers are 07 305 417 668. Okay, so I just want to give you a little information. It's only going to take you less than 5 minutes to tune in, okay? But listen to this, okay? This is very interesting. This is how it's going to happen.
Clinical trials by international pharmaceutical companies raising human rights concerns Incidents of unethical experimentation, lacking informed consent, and forced medical procedures have been claimed and prosecuted. Welcome to Tunacheki, and in this video we present 5 unethical medical experiments that used Africans as guinea pigs. If you like informative and educational videos on Africa, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to catch all our latest videos. Number 5. The Rhodesian forced contraception in Zimbabwe. During the 1970s, in a bid to deal with the rising African population in then Rhodesia, a drug known as Depo-Provera was brought into the country and used as a population control measure. According to the reports, the old white government practiced forced sterilization on African Zimbabwean women. Although this drug was approved for use in Zimbabwe, it was never approved for contraceptive use in the USA and in the UK because of its devastating side effects. The drug was later banned in Zimbabwe in 1981, but the women who took the drug still suffer from side effects to this day. Number 4. The Navrongo experiment in Ghana. This family planning experiment revealed that researchers experimented with the birth control drug Depo-Provera as a test run for a border population campaign on approximately 9,000 impoverished women in Navrongo in Ghana. The experiment was funded by the USAID and the Rockefeller Foundation. The women were told they were being provided with routine healthcare while data was specifically collected and analyzed for the research experiment. Number 3. The meningitis testing in Nigeria. In 1996, when the northern state of Kano was hit by Africa's worst ever meningitis epidemic, Pfizer, the world's biggest research-based pharmaceutical company, took advantage and tested the antibiotic Trovan on 200 children. The test resulted in the death of 11 children and varying degrees of injuries and other disorders. An investigation by experts later concluded that Pfizer had administered the drug as part of an illegal clinical trial without authorization by the Nigerian government or consent from the children's parents. This led to a lawsuit from the Nigerian government over informed consent. Number 2. The Majengo experiments in Kenya. Canadian researchers followed a group of Kenyan prostitutes who remained HIV negative despite long exposure to HIV positive men. They were hoping to discover what kept the women immune and use their findings to develop a HIV vaccine. But later on, some of these women thought to be immune to the HIV virus became infected. The researchers discovered that a specific cell mechanism in their bodies had kept these women free from the infection. The biggest complaint that came out of the Majengo case study was that prostitutes used in the study were exploited by the researchers, not compensated for their contribution, and not credited for their contribution to science. Number 1. HIV/AIDS testing in various African countries. In 1994, the US government conducted clinical trials in the Ivory Coast, Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa, Ethiopia, Burkina Faso, Malawi, and Zimbabwe through projects funded by the Centers for Disease Control and the World Health Organization. The trials included testing of over 17,000 African women for a medication that prevented mother-to-child transmission of the HIV/AIDS virus. Although the trials were about preventing mother-to-child transmission of AIDS, the researchers refused to provide all pregnant women with a drug that could prevent infants from acquiring the AIDS virus during childbirth, even though they had it, thereby making transmission likely. As a result, an estimated 1,000 babies contracted the HIV/AIDS virus. If you like informative and educational videos on Africa, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to catch all our latest videos.
Yeah, Sayshara back on the set once again. Okay, so look, you heard it there. I've got a couple texts I want to mention for those people that's locked in and tuned. I want to say thank you for taking the time for being there. I got a message from Roxy. Big up Roxy for keeping it locked in and tuned in to Fertility Radio, Sayshara's interactive talk show. You're welcome. And you're saying easy sun. No, you're saying that's another. Sayshara, enjoyed your show today. It's good as usual. Thank you very much for giving me that message. I want to pick up also Claudette. I want to say thanks for taking the time for looking and tuning in to me here on Furferity Radio. And yeah, to spread the message and spread the word that Furferity is here and we're building continuously, okay? So definitely keep it locked in. So I just want to give you the actual title of that video. Maybe you want to go to it just to check out for yourself. I think I've got another title to give to you for the last video. But this one's called, and it's very impertinent, alright? It's called five medical trials that have used Africans like, guess what? Lab rats. You know that. Yeah? This is what's been going on, right? And I think as parents, as adults, I mean, I know we've been indoctrinated. We've been indoctrinated into this thinking, innit? Yeah? And it doesn't matter what doctor wants to say to what. No doctor can fool you with this one, right? Because like I said, I keep on repeating this, okay? The pharmaceutical industry, the drugs, the chemicals, the poisons, the toxins, alright, that they're using when they're experimenting, their lab rats, the lab mouses, and a lot of these are genetically being developed, okay, these animals, okay, not all of them, but you know, I think mouse and rats definitely, yeah, they breed them in the tens of thousands anyways. But anyway, what I'm saying is that they're using white mouse, okay, and you don't have to be a scientist to know that white is light, okay, and it's recessive, okay, it's degenerative. I'm not saying I'm saying that white people are like that, you know, people call themselves white or Caucasian or Caucasoid, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that, you know, we're totally unique. Yeah, we're not white animals, we're not white mouse, we're not white rats or anything like that. We're not, you know what I'm saying? Those tablets and those drugs, they're going to be more harmful to us, okay? Because it's not designed for our body. It's just never going to be like that, is it? I mean, these drugs and tablets, then, you know what I'm saying? They're testing them on animals anyway. So that's a no-go anyway. That don't really make sense because animals are not human beings, are they? Right? So they may have a lung, they may have a heart, they may have this, that, and the other, but they haven't got the same anatomical, molecular, biological structure as we have, okay? So when they're doing these tests on animals, okay, and using drugs and chemicals, right, you know what I mean? They're treating us like we're animals. Just be real, right? So when they're giving you drugs and vaccine, please, yeah, we've got to know that they've been doing this for a little while now, all right? Again, let's go to something that's come. I want to go to this article, okay? Because we're talking about something that's going on real time, okay? But they've been doing it for a while now, right? And it's all about big money, big investors, okay? And a lot of these people, you know, that does all this trading stuff, okay, that goes on a lot, yeah? A lot of them don't even know what they're trading in. There's a lot of stuff that these investors, these big investors, okay, they trade in illegal contraband things as well. Alright? I'm telling you, they're dealing with illegal stuff, right? And some of the things that they're doing is abominable, right? It's atrocious, right? It's insidious and it's against humanity, right? But the people that's doing these things, right, they're investing their money and stuff like that. They don't really care. All they care is their returns, their dividends. All right, so this article, you can go to it, yeah, because Boris Johnson's been kind of busy. It said, world leaders make historic commitments to provide equal access to vaccines for all. That's the title of it, okay? And it's Gavi, Gavi. It's supposed to say, what does it say? The world, what are they? The world, so no, the Vaccine Alliance. Yeah, that's it. So they're calling themselves the Vaccine Alliance. Now listen to this, yeah? While all this nonsense is going on, all this palaver and this chaos, okay, and you know, disorder, which is what they want. You know, all these people. And remember, you know, a lot of people is kind of being duped. You're being shafted, isn't it? From one event to another event, okay? You're getting shafted, isn't it? Because these billionaire players, okay, they're playing you like a scratch record, yeah? And they keep on doing this, don't it? Yeah. Remember I said to you, you know, you got to understand how the system operates and functions, and how it gets you to operate and function. This is what's happening. All right. Maybe some of us adults out here and some of us parents and individuals out here, okay, we're old, you know, we're stubborn, innit? All right. And some of us got an old school mentality, and you know, we find it difficult to change the way we think and the way we feel and all of this stuff, okay? And that's fine. That's you know, if that's how people want to be. But when it comes to humanity, okay, we have to have a common thinking, innit? We need to know that we need to protect our babies. Number one, protect our babies, right? We need to have a security and intelligence that tells us that this group of people, this investor, that government, that NGO, right? That charity organization, right? That philanthropist is coming over there and he's poisoning your babies. He's poisoning your children, right? These leaders, right, who invite these same people in because it brings money into their pockets, right? Those black leaders, right? I talk about these black leaders all day long. I don't business about them, innit? Yeah, because I see what they're there for, innit? Yeah, these leaders are weak, poor. They're bad, weak, and poor leadership. That's what we don't have anybody, right, that's stepping up to the mark, innit? Yeah, we don't, as a group of people, we're not stepping up to the mark as a group of leaderships that's gonna be righteous, that's gonna be going forward. It's like the Marcus Garvey template. The black print is there, innit? Right? It's already there. Okay? And in a way, it's in the mix. It's already in the mix. So we need to just build on what's already there. Right? So they're bringing out this whole thing around Gavi Alliance. Okay, let me read the article. It says the Global Vaccine Summit hosted by the UK raises 8.8 billion from 32 donor governments and 12 foundations, corporations and organizations to immunize. And it might sound like, oh, yeah, we're going to clean up. Yeah, we're coming to save you. Immunize 300 million children and support the global fight against COVID-19. US, $567 million has been raised for new innovative financing instrument to provide access to COVID-19 vaccines for low and middle income countries. Boris Johnson, together, this is what he's quoting. Boris Johnson, you're Boris Johnson, okay? Together, in his quote, he says, we will rise to fulfill the greatest shared endeavor of our lifetime, the triumph for humanity over disease now and for the generations that follow, unquote. But then why is he not talking about what Bill Gates has been doing, isn't it? All the destruction and the chaos and the many children and babies and people's lives that he's destroyed. Right? Boris Johnson, he's an hypocrite. Plain. Right? Black, white, green, I don't business, yeah? An hypocrite is an hypocrite is an hypocrite. Okay? Right? So whose agenda is he on? Whose agenda is he on? Is he with the people? Is he with the mass majority of people? Yeah. Oh, he's down with Black Lives Matter. All of a sudden he's down with Black Lives Matter. He's supporting them. He's advocating them. Whose side is he on? I don't support Black Lives Matter. I don't support Black Lives Matter. But Boris Johnson does, right? Right? Why does Boris Johnson support Black Lives Matter all of a sudden? What's that all about? Labour, Conservative, Same bird. Same bird. Right? Two different wings, right? Bunch of clowns. Anyway, it goes to say that London, the 4th of June, 2020, world leaders have pledged an additional 8.8 billion for Gavi. Well, we already know who controls Gavi, innit? The Bill and L Gates Foundation, right? So anyway, so the Vaccine Alliance far exceeding the target of $7.4 billion. The funding will help immunize 300 million children in the world's poorest countries against diseases like measles, polio, and diphtheria by the end of 2025. It will also support health systems to withstand the impact of coronavirus and maintain the infrastructure necessary to roll out a future COVID-19 vaccine on a global scale. The pledges were made at the Global Vaccine Summit. It's all about global. Global. These globalists, internationalists, cabalists, elitists. Yeah? Yeah? You know what I'm saying? Throw money there, throw money over here. Right? What are they doing? They're manipulating you. Right? People don't know when they've been manipulated. I'll tell you. Yeah? They use visual effects to manipulate your emotions. Right? Propaganda's been this whole thing about propaganda, yeah? It's been going from before I was born. There's this thing called the British Path Fair, P-A-T-H-E, yeah? That used to make black people look like animals, like savages, cannibals. This is how they used to propagate black people going back before the 1920s when the cinematography first started to begin to develop its process to what it is now. It's all about social media, videoing and recording, isn't it, on your phones and all of this stuff, right? Yeah, they used to tell their people how they viewed black people, right? That's what they used to do, right? And they're still doing it today. The same tricks. Remember now, an old dog never forgets his old tricks, yeah? Right. Going on. The pledges were made at the Global Vaccine Summit while you lot was rioting and getting all emotional. And don't get our children in that place, innit? Why? They got the Black Lives Matter now, right? They're controlling, it used to be young people. Now it's young children. It's ridiculous. Yeah? These people are controlling the minds of our people. These sadists. Huh? This is what we're talking about. And black people just suck up. They believe in anything. And they think it's all right to believe. You don't know nothing. Right? While they're going around poisoning and killing us off. Softly. And you can't even see that. But you see something there that they want you to see. And you go along with that. You're a bunch of fools. Right? You need to protect our children, our babies. Priority number one. Yeah? Why are you putting them on the front line? Putting them on the front line for what? For what? To defend these people. We need to have our own system, innit? Right? Anyway, it says here, look. This is the Gavi, all about Gavi, yeah? Leaders coming together on a summit, talking about putting money together so that they can populate poor people with vaccines. They can come in there and they're all interested in putting in vaccines and chemicalizing people, innit? This is what I'm saying. They want chemical babies. How can you have a system that says that children need to be having at least 50 vaccines? And it's all chemicals. And then when we're wondering why our children got problems, we're wondering why. Parents as adults, we need to be a little bit more savvy, innit? Right? When it comes to these programs, these projects, and these psyops. Yeah? Because they're running rings around us all the time. And these leaders, right? They're incompetent with a capital I. I could never be a leader, for example. Anybody would say this. I could never be a leader and support those kind of actions. What are you talking about? Just because they got money. So we don't know if they bribed Madagascar. We don't know if they bribed Nigeria. We don't know if they bribed half of these countries, because that's what they do. Right? And it's just normal practice. Okay? It's normal practice, right? I don't know what happens when these leaders, their constitution needs to be ripped up, innit? I've looked at some of these constitutions in these countries. It's colonialist. Okay? They don't even read the damn thing. Yeah? They just sign, you know what I'm saying? And then when they get into office, right, that's when they come to a realization what they're dealing with. Right? But they're not being honest. They're not being truthful. And they should say to you, oh, you know what? We're tied up with this. We're tied up, this contract and that contract and this deal. You know what I mean? Be honest with the people, but they're not being honest. They're no different from the European. You're acting just like what you call the Europeans. You're no different. The way that people are acting now, the way black people are so psyched up, you're acting like Negropeans because you fall into the clutches of what they want you to do, right? They want you to follow them and follow them to where? Where are they leading you to? And they're taking our children with us to the abyss. Come on, man. We've got to get real with this, right? So anyway, they got this summit vaccine. I'm trying to get you through this information. Yeah? And there's so much of it. But this is the latest, right? So they're saying that the pledges were made at the Global Vaccine Summit 2020 hosted by the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Representatives from 52 countries, including 35 heads of state, joined leaders from global health organizations, the private sector, vaccine manufacturers, which are nothing more than chemical pushers, and civil society organizations support the Vaccine Alliance work protecting almost half the world's children against deadly preventable infectious disease. The reason why they're doing this, let me stop there. I'll tell you the reason why they're doing this Gavi Global Alliance, because they realized, okay, that they've lost momentum with the whole thing around vaccines, because they know that people are not happy with these vaccines, especially when Bill Gates is running up his mouth talking about he wants to vaccinate the whole planet Earth, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they know they're watching everything, innit? They're monitoring everything. Yeah, they listen to every single thing what people are saying and doing. They got all the data. They're collecting all the data, right? And they got offices and departments working on things as we speak to counteract anything that we say and do, right? So this is what they've counteracted, right? Because they've come to the realization that they've lost the momentum of the vaccine program, which is what they wanted to initiate, because it's gone pear-shaped. It's gone kind of pear-shaped now, isn't it? Right? Because there's a movement against it. There's a movement against 5G, RFR, radio frequency radiation, electromagnetic waves or frequencies, okay? And, all, martial law, you're saying total population control, and all these different things, right? But anyway, it goes on to say, you see, Gavi, the World Health Organization, right, and the UNICEF have warned that 80 million children under the age of 1 are at risk of disease due to disruptions to vital immunization programs because of COVID-19. You see, they're making something up again, innit? The UK remains. You see, that they've gone from talking about only elderly people, adults, or people that's vulnerable now, to now they want to give vaccines to babies. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, remember they said that young children couldn't get it, or they're less susceptible to getting the COVID-19 or coronavirus. Now they want to inject the babies with COVID-19 preventable vaccines, so-called preventable vaccines from a COVID-19, which is a common cold. Come on, man. Anyway, the UK remains the Vaccines Alliance largest donor, pledging the equivalent of $330 million per year over the next 5 years. Other top donors include the Bill and Melinda Gates. Now, here you have your little syndicate here, innit? Norway, Germany, and the United States. 8 countries made their first ever pledge to Gavi, including Bhutan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Finland, Greece, New Zealand, Portugal, and guess Uganda. What are these African countries done? Yeah? What are these African countries done? What are they talking about? They're conspiring. Anyway, as well as supporting the routine vaccination of hundreds of millions of children in low-income countries from infectious diseases, the new support will also be used to help low-income countries meet the challenge of the coronavirus pandemic by strengthening health systems and vaccine distribution. Right? I don't know if I want to read anymore because I think you get the picture of that. Right? Yeah? I think you get the picture of that. I don't know what else I can say. All I know is that they got Dr. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala is the Gavi board chair. They always get a token, innit? Huh? How much tokens they got here? Huh? How much tokens? Anyway, it says there that they're just bunging in all this money in, okay, as a collective, and they said that the advanced market commitment for COVID-19 vaccines, COVAX AMC, a new initiative financing instrument to provide access to COVID-19 vaccines for low and middle income countries. This is the first building block towards a global mechanism to ensure equitable access to future COVID-19 vaccines. 567 million was raised today. Initial seed money for the AMC from 12 donors. Right, so this is basically they want to rope in as much countries. Basically, let me go jump here now. Yeah, so this is why that they don't want to get off it, innit? Yeah, because there's a lot of companies, businesses that's invested in this, right? Like boosting vaccine and supply for the world's poorest countries. So these are the different companies, partnerships that they're working with, okay? AstraZeneca, right? AstraZeneca, this is what they're saying, they're all providing things, okay? So they're saying that they're providing 300 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines. They will guarantee this in collaboration with the University of Oxford. These doses will be supplied upon license by the World Health Organization. They got commitments from vaccine manufacturers MSD, GSK, Innovac, Serum, Institute of India, and Warvax to increase the supply of HPV vaccine, which protects against so-called cervical cancer to low income. So they're saying that. Yeah, for the next 5 years they're going to be doing that. It says also you got Serum, Institute of India, has become the first supplier of pneumococcal conjunctivitis vaccines, PDCV, under the pneumococcal advanced market commitment. So that's what they're contributing. So everybody's contributing something. This is what's going on, yeah? But it's not contributing anything good. It's all chemicals and poisons and toxins. Also, the partnerships to do with the European Investment Bank, the EIB, UNICEF, and Gavi are designed a novel guarantee mechanism for vaccine procurement, backed by the International Finance Facility for Immunization. Okay, so and then you got an agreement between Gavi and the International Federation of the Red Cross and the Red Crescent. They got supply chain strengthening from UPS foundations. They're going to provide some of their service. I'm going to go into too much details there, yeah? But you understand what's going on. The ELMA, Vaccines and the Immunization Foundation, and Nextleaf Analyticals will partner with Gavi to further strengthen the vaccine cold chain in Tanzania. Right? So they're bringing Tanzania, yeah? All right? Elma will pledge $1.5 million, which will be matched by the Gavi Matching Fund. The Rockefeller Foundation will invest $5 million to support the adaptation and scale-up of innovative approaches and digital technologies that empower frontline health workers. Okay, you got the LAERDAL Global Health. Okay, and the Lauderdale Million Lives Fund will provide support to frontline health workers with a commitment of $10 million. You got Airtel Nigeria. They're contributing, leading mobile telecommunication company will provide up to 5.9 million in cash and in-kind service for the e-reporting project, which will digitize a paper-based vaccine. MasterCard will adapt its wellness pass selection for the COVID-19 response. Generating demand for vaccines, TikTok have committed $10 million to support Gavi's deployment in Africa of eventual COVID-19 vaccine, as well as its strengthening of routine immunization program. Gavi will also explore working with TikTok to use its technology, operational expertise, and platform to increase immunization and vaccination awareness to address the issues of misinformation. Wow. The donation will be matched by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation through the Gavi Matching Fund. Then you got Unilever. Through its Lifebuoy brand, will partner with Gavi to expand its award-winning Sappho Surat Successful Beginnings and integrated hand washing with soap and immunization demand generation program. Anyway, additional financing for vaccines. United Bank of Africa Foundation will draw on its network and expertise to raise. How did they get these people, man? Anyway, you go Gamers Without Borders, GWB, an initiative by Saudi Arabia. Then you got Reed Hastings, global entrepreneur and co-founder and CEO of Netflix. Patty Quillian have committed $30 million to support the Alliance response to COVID-19. Okay, so there you have it. You go on your website and you can tap in, like I said, Gavi, the World Alliance, COVID-19. It's titled World Leaders Make Historic Commitments to Provide Equal Access to Vaccines for All. But then they're not only, they're only just talking about poor people, isn't it? Right? Anyway, that's how it goes, isn't it? Right? So, let me just check. I think I've read out some texts, and anybody's still got some time. I've got less than 20 minutes, so you're welcome to send me a text or even give me a call. Telephone numbers are 073 0541 7668. I repeat, 073 054 17668. Okay, so this is for Ferrity Radio. My name is Sayshara. I'm here for the next less than 20 minutes. Okay, and yeah, I want to thank all those people that's locked in and tuned in once again. All right, so do some research. I don't know if people want to get into this, okay, but for those people that's interested, okay, you need to understand there's this project it's pretty old now, but it's called Operation Mockingbird. I think some people will be familiar with it, right? You can get the document, the CI document, from the Black Vault into a PDF file. It's about 7 pages, okay? It's all about espionage and covert operations, okay? Most ordinary people don't understand what I'm talking about, espionage and covert operations. What we're talking about here, okay? But you need to look into understand how they use the media. It's all about the CA, from what I understand, you can't say, them using the media as a mind control. They was doing it there in America. In fact, you got to think about the black exploitation films and movies that they brought out, okay, to use to influence our minds, okay, just like the hip-hop music now, and anything, generally speaking, anything that you would consider in some form of art form. Okay, a lot of the things that are being pushed, okay, the good things that we need to be doing, they don't want to support that, right? They don't want to support that. Yeah, all this stuff to do with Black Lives Matter, NAACCP, all these integrated, assimilated organizations where you got a black face, right? But the people that's bankrolling it are a group of white people, right? Or a group of big investors, okay? Right? And they use black people. Like I said, black people's been exploited, isn't it? Okay, on so many different levels, right? So they've been using our black faces, okay, to integrate into our communities so they can control our communities. Now they're trying to do it with the black liberation movement. Do you get what I'm saying? This is how far it's going to go. And some of our people who call themselves Pan-Africanists, I don't deal with the Pan. Like I said, Pan is a Greek freak god, right? I don't deal with that, yeah? But I deal with Garveyism, Marcus Garvey, you and I, AACL, okay, right? And what we need to be looking at as a group of people, that some people haven't learned their lesson, innit? Simple as that, right? They haven't learned, okay? And they want to keep us, some of our own people, they want to keep us in a certain position, okay, because it affects their bank account, right? It really does. Now, I'm not sure if I played, I can't remember even how many videos I played, okay? But I'm not sure if I played this one, right? But if let me see. Yeah, I have. Okay, so there's only one more video I can play, right? It's just enough time to do it, yeah? But I want you to listen to this, okay? Because this is what's going on, right? Out here. Yeah, this is what's going on. Listen to this. I've got a couple of minutes. I'm going to play this, right? This is a window to what I'm talking about. Hear this, right?
Of the American government is called the Kissinger Report, which was produced in the mid-70s when Henry Kissinger was involved with the government. And it explicitly states, which to this day, it remains the official policy of the American government. It has not changed. Mm-hmm. It may not be implemented by Trump, but it remains the same. That the purpose of the foreign policy in Africa was to reduce the population. So to give aid to countries in Africa, not clean water and schooling and things like that, but contraception and abortion, in order to shrink the population of Africa because they have great mineral resources there.
That sounds diabolical.
It is, yes.
That sounds like something conceived in the mind of Margaret Sanger.
Yeah, definitely. And so at the time, Kissinger and those involved with the Carter administration wanted to shrink the population, make sure that the Africans do not develop and do not use the resources for themselves, because we in the States, we need them. There is a concerted effort of foreign powers to control the population of Africa. Africa is a huge continent, could feed thousands of more people, but the policies of the West, especially in Europe. For example, between 1990 and the year 2000, the United States, Canada, and Europe contributed about $6 billion in contraceptives, not to help the people, not to give clean water, clean food. That is
not to fight malaria, for example.
No, of course, perish the thought, never. Yeah. Let them die. That's the whole idea. So in our work in HLI, we denounced this reality to make the Africans aware that they have to defend themselves against the influence of foreign powers.
Is it just the United States, or do you believe that China is also playing a role in jockeying for the resources of Africa?
China is playing a major role because China is buying property in Africa. Mm-hmm. For example, in Mozambique, which is a Portuguese-speaking language country, they when Portugal was in charge of Mozambique, they used to export rice. Now they are importing rice from China because they cannot produce. The socialism has wrecked the production of rice. And the Chinese come and buy farms. So about almost a third of Mozambique belongs to China. So I was in other countries of Africa. It's the same reality in South Africa. The Chinese are buying property, buying land in Africa. And they send their own workers, the Chinese workers. They don't employ people of the place. They send their own workers to populate and to live in the place.
Did you like or hate what you heard? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, Sayshara here back on the set of Fertility Radio. Just counting down the minutes, alright? But you heard that video you can go to. Just let you know. Yeah. That's what's happening, isn't it? Yeah. So it's called The Truth About Africa. Okay. Now there's other people that's picked up on this video, so you might be able to find it in different places. But it's called The Truth About Africa. It might be a little bit difficult to find, but one or two of our brothers and sisters in the continent of Africa, they know about this, okay, and they're spreading the message and the word, right? Which is a beautiful thing, because this is a European. He's probably a South African. His name is I can actually give you his name. His name is Raymond de Souza, Human Life Internationalist, okay? Human Life International, okay? HLI, okay? So, United States of America, USA, Kissinger Report, Policy on Africa's Population Control. So yeah, there's a Rockefeller plan, yeah? You can go back. How far you want to go back? How far you want to go back with this? Albert Pike, what's his name? Cecil Rhodes, yeah? The Rockefeller Foundation, the Kissinger. What are you talking about? I could dig up reports after reports, okay, about how they want to keep black people down, yeah? How they want to kill black people, how they want to depopulate them, how they want to give them viruses and diseases, and you know what I'm saying, yeah? And the leaders, the black leaders for decades allowed this to happen. And no, I'm the only one that's talking about this. What are we talking about? The black leaders are the gateway to millions and millions of people. That's why the Europeans ain't stupid, right? They're not stupid. All they need to do is work on the leaders, right? You got 54 leaders in Africa that they can put in their pocket. And the way they did it, they used the United Nations to do it. So now they belong to the United Nations, the Boys Club, the Boys Brigade Club, okay, right? So they become passive because they're tied into that. Yeah? And they don't want to cause wave because they're getting paid, isn't it? They're getting money, they're getting paid, right? The soldiers are getting paid, right? They're getting fringe benefits, right? They get public, they get political immunity. Okay, right? And you know what I'm saying? They get paid. So they're getting paid, laid and grade. So those leaders, see as a beneficial, this small group of boulets, so-called elites, what I call the black elite, black PT, black elites, okay? Right? They're getting paid, they're great, they're all right? And they may satisfy and fulfill some obligations to their fellow countrymen and women, to their children, to the babies, but it doesn't go far enough. What you need to do, these leaders, and one of them's been setting an example, and this is the thing that they don't want. They don't want this. I could tell you the things that the Europeans don't want, that they're against. They don't want African people, especially Africa, right? This is what I'm saying, yeah? African people have got a lot more to lose than what we've got in this country called England or United Kingdom. What we got here? We've got nothing here, right? What, coal? What's here? Huh? But Africa's got a lot to lose, right? Who knows these people better than us? We know their history. We know their inside measurement, right? We can tell you about them so you know what they're about. Remember I said to you, it's about how the system operates and functions, right? Shared information and knowledge, okay? Right? So we can have our own security and intelligence, okay? I'm telling you, You might think, oh, what do I know about Africa? What do I know about this, that, and the other, right? I've been to Africa, right? I don't live there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day, who knows? But what I'm saying is, okay, that whether I live there or not, right? I love Africa. It's my place of home, okay? It's my people's place of home, right? That's my heritage. That's my ancestry. That's where my descendants come from, right? Yeah? That's where all the resources on the planet Earth, which is everybody salivating over, right? That are lusting over. Yeah? They're killing off our people, right? Wiping off our people for decades, okay? For decades. Not just yesterday or the other day. For hundreds of years. Okay? Alright? So that they can be able to exploit as much as they possibly can the resources, the land, the water, the air, the sea. Whatever. We don't control anything because they won't allow us to control anything. Right? They won't want us to be totally independent from them. You cut them off, cut their arteries off. Their lifeline. Right? That's why they don't like all this boycott thing, innit? They don't like the boycott thing. Right? Yeah? But it's your leaders. Your leaders allow these people to come in, buy gold cheap, and then they take everything and give you the worst things in return. It's not even balanced. How's that balanced? How's that fair trade? How's that fair? Huh? They give you give them gold, you give them diamonds, you give them platinum, you give them cobalt, whatever they want for their technology, for their science, right? You give it to them. You give them the land. Oh, you want the land? Oh, we give you a bit of land. Okay. We give you business. You know, they come in there and they cream off the top. Everything. Right? And not only on top of that, they give you the worst things. They give you the poison, the drugs, the guns. Huh? You see what I'm saying? They give you poverty. It's ridiculous. Right? What you need to do, I'm going to be heading out here, is, like I said, look into some things, okay, around how the system's operating to do with Operation Mockingbird, all right? And then you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, Brother Three Stars is going to come in after me. So keep it locked in and tuned in every time. Every day, 24 hours a day, tune into Prosperity Radio. We've got more and more people who are DJing and presenting, and we're just going to be here for you. We want to keep you where you want to be, okay? So I want to say on that note, my name is Sayshara. I'm out. Till next time.